Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on Meg's Movie Monday. Woo! I'm trying out something new. I've done this on my blog, so I'll put the link down below for that. But I thought I'd give it a go on YouTube because I don't know if many people have done this, so I thought I'd give it a go. And that is A to Z of my favourite movies of all time. So basically, through A to Z, I will give you my favourite movies of those. I will say it was a very difficult list to come up with because I have so many favourites for so many different letters. There is one I did have to skip, which is Q, because to be honest, the only movie I can think of that begins with Q is A Quiet Place, and I'm not really a huge fan of that one, so there will be no Q. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So let's just get straight into the list. So at A we have Avengers Endgame. We all know I love Avengers movies. You've seen my Avengers reaction, and of course it would be Endgame, that would be the top of my list. I love the ending of the movie as well. That is one of my favourite parts of the movie. It's just the whole Captain America, seeing the team all behind him again, and just hearing Avengers assemble for the first time completely is just phenomenal. Next is B, and B I've gone for Back to the Future because that is my absolute favourite movie from the 80s. Well, one of them anyway. But I absolutely love Back to the Future. It is actually one of the many films that got me to fall in love with movies. I mean, who doesn't love the DeLorean and who doesn't love Doc and Marty? At C we have, what did I go for? Oh yeah. C, I went for Charlie's Angels. Now, I went for the original Charlie's Angels movie with Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore. Reason being is because I love that movie. I used to watch that movie on repeat. It's just the action scenes, the fights, like the fights are amazing, and they're just an amazing cast. I did watch the remake, not a huge fan of the remake. So for D, I have gone for Deadpool, the Merc with the Mouth. I absolutely love Deadpool. Deadpool is beyond hilarious. The 4th wall breaks are amazing, and just, I think Ryan Reynolds was made for this role. And I can't wait to see what Disney do with Deadpool 3, because obviously 20th Century Fox is now with Disney, so I don't know whether they're going to cut out some of the stuff that Deadpool will usually do, so we'll see. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. I'm hoping they'll keep him the same, but no luck, he will be changed. And for E, I have gone for Emperor's New Groove from Disney. It is such one of the underrated films from Disney, I think, in my mind. So I love Kronk. Kronk is the absolute best, especially with the angel and the devil on his side. It's honestly, if you haven't watched Emperor's New Groove, you should. It is really warm today, so if you see me do this, it's because I am sweating my arse off right now. I'm trying not to lift my arms up because I feel like I might have sweat patches. It is really warm in here, bloody hell. I need a beach day. F, I have gone for a film that I don't think many people that I know this film as much as I do, and that is Fright Night. I absolutely love Fright Night. Fright Night is one of my absolute favourites of all time, and it's the original, not the remake. I do love the remake, don't get me wrong. Colin Farrell was a good fan, like a good Jerry, but for me the original will always be my favourite, especially Jerry Dandridge. Who didn't love Jerry Dandridge? Come on. Next one is G, and I have gone for Grease. Now, the reason being is because Grease was the first ever musical I ever watched, and it was the reason why I fell in love with musicals in the first place. I do love The Greatest Showman, that would have also been in G, but obviously I did have to whittle it down to 1, so Grease took the top spot, unfortunately, especially with Born to Hand Drive. Who doesn't know how to do the Born to Hand Drive? Next one is H, and for H I have gone with Homeward Bound. It is one of my childhood favourite movies of all time. I actually watched this recently in the past few months, and it just brought back so many memories, especially number 2. Number 2 is so hilarious, but I still had to go for the first one because I feel like the first one will always be the best. I love Chance. Chance is my favourite dog in that movie, honestly. Next one, I had to go for Ice Age. Who doesn't love Ice Age? In fact, Sid the Sloth is my spirit animal. I absolutely love Sid. I represent Sid because I literally fall asleep anywhere. I'm lazy as hell, not gonna lie. But yeah, Ice Age is one of my favourites. J, I have gone for Jumanji, the original one with Robin Williams, because nothing can beat the Robin Williams version. Don't get me wrong, I do love what they've done recently with Dwayne Johnson and Karen Gillan and Jack Black and Kevin Hart. They are hilarious, but for me, whenever it comes to remakes and originals, I will always go for the original. I don't think I've actually ever watched a remake that's beat the original. Next one is K, and I've gone for Kung Fu Panda. That's it, I've basically gone for Kung Fu Panda. I do like Jack Black, he is funny in that movie. Who doesn't like Poe? But say I don't really own many Ks that I could think of that I really liked, so Kung Fu Panda was the ultimate choice. Next one is L, and of course, if you have not seen, okay, it's in my videos when I do my Resident Evil games, my pile of Stitches in the corner. I have a Stitch bubble blower, I have a Stitch statue, I have Stitch tops, so of course L was Lilo and Stitch. I am obsessed with Stitch, I love Stitch, he's just the best and he's so adorable. I saw a picture of what they could do for the live action and I really don't want them to do it, because Stitch is so cute and adorable animated. And especially when he picks up the car and he's like, "Blue punch buggy," and he throws the car. But say, if you don't love Stitch, what is wrong with you? Because Stitch is just beyond adorable. Next one is M, and of course I weren't going to have a list without adding a Jim Carrey film into this. The Mask. The Mask is actually the first Jim Carrey film I ever watched, and it is the one that got me into movies as well. I do have quite a few films that I watched that made me fall in love with movies. The Mask is definitely that top one. So Jim Carrey's the absolute best in that, and I'm going to own up to it. I can quote it word for word when I watch it. I am not embarrassed to say it. Especially during the club scene when he's doing that speech. Honestly, it is so funny and so hilarious. If you have not seen The Mask, I definitely recommend it. Next one is N, and I've gone for a spooky one this time. I've gone for A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, not the remake, because the remake was absolutely shit. Do not, I repeat, do not watch the remake. I powered through it, but I will probably not watch it again until I do a ranking of the series, to which that will be the very low, like bottom low. But I do love the original. Not gonna lie, when I first saw bits of it, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. It did terrify me when I was little, but growing up I kind of started watching it all together and I actually really enjoyed it. Next one is O, and I didn't have many O's to choose from, but I went for another animated one, and I've gone for Over the Hedge. I mean, who doesn't like Hammy? I feel like Hammy sometimes when I'm doing my videos. I feel like I'm going because I'm trying to like get it through, get it done, stuff like that. But say, I love Hammy, especially when he's being prepared to go and get the cookies off those children and that, and he's like, rabbit, not rabbit. Next one is P, and for P I've gone for Pitch Perfect. I absolutely love those movies. They're so hilarious, they're so funny, especially Fat Amy. Fat Amy is hilarious. She's the absolute best in those films, I think. The amount of comments she comes out with, and the fact that she calls herself Fat Amy, I love it. Obviously Q, we're skipping because I couldn't think of anything for Q. R, I've gone for Rocky Horror Picture Show, another musical. Yes, I know. I love my musicals, not gonna lie. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of those weird, outlandish ones that I absolutely love. And the live action, the live one they did, the special one they did, wasn't too bad actually. I quite enjoyed it. Next one is S, and I've gone for my absolute favourite horror movie of all time, and that is Scream. Scream is one of the ones, I think that's actually my first horror movie I actually watched in full, which is why I love horror films. But yeah, Scream was one of my first horror movies. I always watch it when it comes to Halloween. I do want to do a ranking video of them. Still need to finish the TV series though. I know there's a TV series, but I still haven't finished it. Next one is T, and it's another Disney classic that I think is completely underrated, and that is Treasure Planet. I absolutely love Treasure Planet. It's one of my favourite films growing up. I do have a lot of memories attached to Treasure Planet, and yeah, I just feel like there's so many underrated Disney films that this is the top one, I think. Treasure Planet is an absolutely amazing film. It's so heartwarming, so funny, and if you haven't watched it, you definitely need to. Next one is You, and for You I did have a bit of trouble choosing one as well because I do not have many U's, but for You I have gone for, tell me down. For You I have gone for Up. It's a very heartwarming film. It is very funny, especially Doug. I love Doug, the talking dog. It's just, he's so adorable. But it is such a heartwarming story, especially the beginning. I always cry when I watch the beginning. But yeah, I'd say if you want a very emotional Disney film, Up is definitely one of them. Next one is V, and I've gone for another supernatural one. You'll notice that my list is very supernaturally. And that is Van Helsing. I absolutely love Van Helsing. I know not many people do, but it's one of the ones I enjoy. I'm one of those people that like some of the most weird, outlandish films that not many people do enjoy, but Van Helsing is definitely one of my favourites. Can't go wrong with vampires and werewolves, can you? Next one is W, and I've gone for White Chicks for W. If you have not watched White Chicks, where have you been? White Chicks is absolutely hilarious. I love that film, especially when they dress up as the girls. They just give off such a great performance. And of course Terry Crews singing in the car 1,000 miles. Who doesn't know that scene? Next one is X. I had trouble with this one as well, so there was a couple I had trouble with, but for this one I have gone for X-Men, the original. I do enjoy the X-Men series. I haven't watched them in a while, but I did enjoy the first one when I did see it. Next one is Y, and it's another Jim Carrey film. I really need to learn how to breathe in between sentences. So yeah, Y is Yes Man. I absolutely love this film. It's such a weird and wonderful film. I mean, the premise is basically you can't say no, because if you say no, bad stuff happens, so he has to say yes. It's really weird, but it's so funny. I do love Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is one of my absolute favourite actors of all time. And last but not least, we get to Z, and Z is a horror comedy kind of thing, and that is Zombieland. Zombieland is one of my absolute favourites. I have gone for the first one, not the second one. The second one was good, it was really good actually, but the first one will always be my favourite, especially with Woody Harrelson's character trying to find a Twinkie. The entire time he's just trying to find a Twinkie, and then obviously they get to the shop, and one of my favourite scenes in that movie is when they're in the shop and he just plays the banjo just very quietly, and then just this zombie just comes barreling down and he hits him. It's hilarious, honestly. If you have not watched Zombieland, if you like comedies, zombies and horror, definitely recommend Zombieland. And that is it. That is my A to Z of my favourite movies. It was a very quick one down. I need to breathe. But no, I'd say it was very difficult for me to choose because I have tons, as you can see, tons. This is just half of one shelf. I have a full shelf over there. I have DVDs under my bed. It is ridiculous. But what can I say? I love movies. But let me know if you did enjoy this kind of video, if you like the whole A to Z thing, if you want me to make it more specific, if you want me to do A to Z of my favourite Disney movies, A to Z of my favourite comedy movies. Like, if you want me to do that, just leave a comment down below. And if you have any other video ideas that you want to see me do, like any games you want me to play, any movies you want me to review, rank, stuff like that. I can't breathe. I think it's because it's hot in here. Anyway, so I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below in that corner, whichever corner it is in when you watch it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye! For D, I have gone Fu.